Hey guys, Max Tornado is here, and we are on episode 25 of our Ultimate Death Knight tutorial for new players and beginner players, giving a lot of different tips and kind of hints, tricks for how to manage resources effectively and make progress in the early game. So if you enjoy raid content, I do put out videos every single day. Sometimes I'll put out a couple a day, but I definitely do try to focus on stuff that's relevant for everyone. And yeah, we're growing really fast. We're about to hit 300 subscribers, which is really cool. I've been making videos for about the last month, and we've had just a lot of success. So I appreciate all the support from everyone. And yeah, so as far as the video today goes, my plan was to kind of show you guys where I'm at as far as the myceliac priest Orn fusion. So if we go to the fusion right here, this is the one that we're going for right here, and we currently have three of the rares that we need. So we're very, very close to getting our fourth. I'll probably end up getting it from either Dungeon Divers, which I still need to farm some more stuff out. I can farm campaign to get that, most likely. I don't think. I know I definitely already got the one from Classic Arena. I'm not going to get the one from Champion Chase. I'm too far away. And Spider, I haven't really even started to try for. Pretty unlikely that I would end up getting the 1650 for that, considering I have zero currently. I could go ahead and try to snag one of these lower energy refills, but yeah. So I'm very, very excited to get that done. I am continuing to pull as many mystery shards as I can in hopes of getting a frozen banshee or a kale. So yeah, that is kind of my plan right now. With the missions currently, I can't make any progress on missions because the magic keep is not available. So there's nothing I can really do there. I am continuing to kind of use my arena tokens as I can, and so I'll go ahead and use these 10 for the 3v3 as well. I am also trying my best to remember to purchase my Drexthar Blood Twin fragments every day. So let me see how many I'm at. I haven't done the best job of that by any stretch of the imagination, so I'm only at 6 currently. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy to have 6 of those, and in 94 days, I'll hopefully have Drexthar, super strong champion. So definitely excited to do that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pause the video, find some more stuff to talk about, and then we'll come back in. Okay. So I did want to show off. So now that I've got 3 6-star champions, essentially what I'm doing in 3v3 is I'm just finding these teams that have around 100,000 player power. I've got around 100,000 player power, and I'm essentially just putting in one 6-star champion per team, right? So it's kind of like, okay, picking their best team that I would have to fight against and putting my Elhain in there, and then the second one that would need the second most damage, and then the one that could probably just be killed by an ultimate Death Knight. So we'll see how this looks really quick. Let me know, how you guys are doing with 3v3. A lot of players ignore 3v3 early on because they're just like, oh, I don't have enough champions. I don't have 3 teams of level 60s or whatever the case might be. But you certainly don't need 3 teams of level 60s. I have majority level 40s in these teams, so um, like I said, just having the one level 60, and that's why we always stress the importance of getting level 60s, is because one level 60 can take on an entire team of level 50s, right? Pretty easily, to be honest. So, you guys can let me know how y'all are doing. Uh, I like Hatatsu. It's a cool champion. Champion continuous heals, and Geomancer over here just chilling. So you can also see another thing that I kind of want to stress here too is I've not taken a bunch of champions that I don't need to take up to level 50, up to level 50. Right? These champions at level 40 are certainly helping me clear faction wars. They started out as rank 4 champions because they're epics, right? So I took them to level 40 just naturally through progressing in campaign and all that stuff. Um, but I didn't waste my food champions on taking them up to 5-star because I really, really, really want to just continue to say, okay, who's going to be my fourth level 60? Who's going to be my fifth level 60? Um, the biggest issue is people spread their chickens so thin trying to level up all these different champions to different ranks. So yeah, that is just another little tip. Make sure that you're farming your resources in the 3v3. Hey guys, so I just wanted to also show this. So I've put Ultimate Death Knight here against 4 level 50s, Aethel's 55, so she's a 6-star champion. I think that Ultimate Death Knight is going to be able to win. It's going to be a really long battle though, right? Like, I mean, maybe during the next attack all enemies that he puts out, he'll be able to knock out a couple of them, but the other thing is to remember, like, it's okay to only win 2 of the 3 battles. You still get gold bars, right? So I know I stressed that in several videos ago whenever I was talking about 3v3. But Drexstar Blood Twin is absolutely worth doing as many wins as you can. Like, it's not like oh, you have to win every single arena battle or else why are you even playing, right? I don't care about this one battle. Okay, I lost. If I spent another 5 minutes in here slowly battling them out, I probably could have won. Don't care, right? I'm not trying to spend, 5, 6 minutes on a single battle. What I am trying to do is get gold bars, and I can do that effectively by winning 2 out of the 3 battles, right? And so, yeah, I mean, I just think that it's important to stress because I see so many times whenever I take over an account for someone that they've not even set up the first arena team for clan versus clan. So it's just something to be mindful of, right? Now, like I said, at this point, I know that I can win against teams that have, like, say, 100k player power, and also whenever I do my quests, I'm getting refills, right? So I did 5 tag team arenas. I got a 6 key refill for my faction wars. Whenever I do these other quests, I get a brand new set of tokens to do clan v clan, or not clan v clan, 3v3, sorry. So it's just something to be mindful of, right? Make sure you're using these so that way you're getting your resources. And yeah, I think on my main account, let me see if I have my main account pulled up. Yeah, I've got it pulled up over here. So just as an example, on my main account, I've got almost 50,000 gold bars, right? So I go here into the bazaar, I buy the energy, I buy the ancient shard, and soon enough I'll be able to get into these accessories and start getting some of those. So that's awesome. So just something to be mindful of, guys. So I don't think there's a whole lot more that I'm going to cover in this video. I mean, we're only 8 minutes in, so what I'll probably do is kind of do a quick gear cleanse and show you guys my thoughts on that. So I'm going to go ahead and pause it and see what all my gear looks like, and then we'll go make sure it's worth doing. Okay, so yeah, I am going to go ahead and do a bit of a gear cleanse and kind of also just a gear assessment, right? So if you aren't really interested in sticking around for the gear cleanse or the tips related to gear, thanks for stopping by. If you don't mind liking the video, subscribing, all that stuff is super helpful and super appreciated. It's by far the easiest and freest way to support the channel and support me. So that way we can continue to grow. Also, if you're interested in joining a clan, both the Bastion 1 and the Bastion 2 are full currently, but you can certainly go ahead and apply. Like, we've got some folks who have been offline for a few days. We're going to remove those because we are absolutely going to keep these 2 clans active and filled. We want people who are actively doing clan versus clan, who are actively hitting clan boss, all of those things. And if you are interested, we do have an overfill clan as well. So we've got let me see. I'll pull it up in Discord. I'm going to pause it so that way I get the name correct. Okay, so the overfill account is Insomniacs Anonymous right here. So this is Baked Dreams' clan, and so he was kind enough to say, like, hey, if we have any people who are interested in joining our cluster and they can't get into those first 2 clans, certainly are welcome to join this one. If you're interested in hitting Brutal or Nightmare clan boss, we certainly do want you to apply for that Bastion 2 clan. So if that is what you are actively wanting to pursue, please do apply for that clan. Because we want to eventually get to the point where Brutal's being killed every single day,
and eventually Nightmare would be killed every single day. So that is our goal for that. But if you're a low level account and you're just kind of wanting to be in a clan and kind of join the crew, Insomniacs Anonymous is somewhere you can join as well. So we're gonna go ahead and dive into the account kind of gear summary and cleansing. So um, the first thing that I would do if I was looking at this account, I'm going to take the approach of like if this was not my account. Okay, is that fair? So I would look to see how are these champions geared, and also like what do we have on the account to work with. So right off the bat, though, as far as gear cleansing, I know I can sell all 1 and 2 star gear. So we have done that. There are no 1 or 2 star pieces of gear on the account. I'd also go ahead and take a look at what are our gray and uncommon items. For gray and uncommon items, we'd really be looking for sets that match each other. So HP percent on an attack percent, we'll go ahead and sell this. Okay. Now for boots, I see that we've got several 3-star boots. I've actually been farming 12.6. For some reason, my 12.6 farm all randomly fell 12.3. I don't know, like I'll randomly fail 12.3, but it seems like my 12.6 farm is really consistent. So we'll just go through here and sell these, kind of see what we have. So we're hoping to keep speed boots. So if it's speed, even on a 3-star, I'll keep that for Faction Wars. So we'll keep that, keep that, keep that. Okay, so yeah, these are going to be good for like some early game Faction War champions who just need some speed. Defense percent, I'm not even going to keep those to put on faction champions. If they're 3-star, they can get out of here. They are 3-star, we can see you later. For 4-star pieces, if it's percentage, we are willing to keep it to potentially put on a faction war champion. And again, this stuff is not good. Don't mistake it like me saying that we're going to keep these to put on faction wars. It's not that we're keeping it because it's good. It's just something. We don't want our faction war rare champions who are trying to clear stage 1 to go in with no gear on essentially. So we're keeping it for that reason only. Okay, got some speed there. Good. Attack percent we can keep. HP percent. So you can see farming 12.6 has given me some 5-stars as well, so that's cool. Flat attack we can get rid of. Okay. Attack percent. Flat defense on the gloves. Flat attack is gone. Flat HP. So again, keep in mind we're trying to get rid of these flat stats because we know that they don't scale well. So attack percent we can keep. And these are our shields. Okay, so we've sold 30 pieces of gear there. Attack percent we can keep for faction war stuff. Attack percent, HP percent, crit damage, attack percent, accuracy, and attack percent. Okay, so everything from there is fine. Now, our next piece that I would look at would be like 3-star rare pieces, right? Because we know 3-star pieces, we're not really interested in keeping a lot of those. That's why we were okay selling everything except for speed boots on the common and uncommon. So for 3-star rare, I'm really making sure that they also are pieces that match the sets, right? So for like accuracy, I would want these to either be crit rate or attack percent, some kind of percentage here. So we did get attack percent. But again, I mean, these are just so bad. It's really tempting to just go ahead and sell these because I certainly wouldn't take them past 8. The only reason these are 12 is because they were like one of the very first gloves that I got on my account. So yeah, let's see. And you can just see why, right? Like the substats are just so abysmally low, right? Like, I mean, you could roll this up to 16 and if this was a legendary piece, right, and it could roll crit rate 4 times, I could be walking away with like 8 to 10 crit rate. And that is just so bad. So we'll sell stuff. I mean, really, it's just not worth keeping. I mean, honestly, I think I'm to the point where if it's not leveled already, I'm willing to sell it. Truthfully, and I think that's going to be my approach from here on out. If it is leveled already, and it doesn't have, so like this is HP with attack percent here, right? I'm just gonna go ahead and sell it, guys. Like I'm kind of done having it on my account. This is already leveled, so Maybe I'll put it on a faction champion. HP percent chest. That's already leveled. Um, and this is leveled. So yeah, we'll just go ahead and get rid of those. And it's kind of like this game is all about farming artifacts. It's about farming champions, getting your champions leveled, pulling champions, and pulling big artifacts, right? So if you focus all your energy on like, oh man, should I keep this 3-star piece? You're putting way too much energy into should you keep a 3-star piece. Like the reality is you probably shouldn't. Even with 4-star pieces, we almost have to be cautious because you'll so quickly get into the point where you're like, oh wow, I have a lot more 5-star pieces than I do 4-star. And so I mean, obviously early game you're gonna have to use 4-star. It's a natural progression. But yeah. And you know what? Truthfully, let's go ahead. I'm willing to do this. I'm no longer going to keep 3-star rare. So and the nice thing about that is I no longer have to go in here and say, "Oh, it's already leveled up." I can just click on 3-star rare and sell. Okay, so now I can do this for both of these, and for these speed boots until I have like some more 4-star speed boots, then I'll get rid of those. But for now, I'm okay with this. Okay. So for 4-star, these pieces make up the bulk of my artifacts. So I've got 327 4-star. I've got 211 5-star. I've only got 18 6-star, right? So 5-star is obviously the gear. We want to be putting 5-star pieces on our main champions because they're just going to have more stats. Like plain and simple, they're going to have more stats. They're going to have more substats. So in an ideal world, we would be gearing our main champions like similar to this, where we have Bellower in all 5-star gear, right? Every piece that he's wearing is 5-star except for his accessories, which are terrible. So let's check out our 4-star and our 4-star uncommons and commons. Now again, we wouldn't want to keep flat stuff. So if we have flat, so we'll click on these 3 bottom pieces. If we have flat HP, flat attack, or flat defense for any of these 3 bottom stats, they're sold. Our bottom slots, they're sold, okay? So we're going to go down here to the filter. Okay, we don't have any of those, so that's solid. Okay, now we also are going to say if they are 4-star crit damage gloves, we can't use them. We can't. Like, we need crit rate on our gloves. Until we get like 6-star crit damage or like say 5-star legendary crit damage with crit rate on the gloves, you wouldn't use crit damage gloves and not be crit capped. It's just, it doesn't make sense, right? So your crit rate gloves are far more important in the early mid game. Crit damage doesn't come into effect until you start building champions like in the later game, towards the end of mid game. We also are going to be pretty strict on our resist chests. So it doesn't look like we have resist chests. And let's make sure that also we don't have, what's our flat HP, flat attack, flat defense on all these other stars. So we do have, oh, you okay, Macy? You hit your head on the, sorry, there's a lot of noise, guys, but still want to record. So we do have some pieces that have these flat HP, flat attack, flat defense. Since they're 5-star and 6-star even, we're a little bit more okay with these just for faction war champions, right? These pieces would very unlikely go on our main champions. The exception is if you're building a champion for pure speed, then you might very well find some speed gear, like some pieces, like chest pieces that have a lot of speed. So things like that, you'd be like, example, some speed there. So things like that you might keep an eye out for. And again, faction word, random champions, right? So we're doing pretty good all in all, of not keeping pieces that are just awful. But let's see how our champions are geared. We've got all 16s on Elhain. And Elhain, obviously, she doesn't need 6 lifesteal pieces. She could have 4 lifesteal pieces and some cruel gear, or 4 lifesteal pieces and a speed set, or an attack set, right? She could have even that set that we've been getting from the Forge, the Fatal set, right? So that's just something to be mindful of. This is just the best gear that I have on my account currently. Let me pause this real quick. Talk to Lacey. Okay, I'm back. So yeah, that's kind of what I do whenever I'm kind of looking at what gear needs to be cleansed. I might actually go ahead and gear Jingle Hunter with you guys just to kind of show you another example of a build with kind of the gear that I have available. Now, one thing that is really important, and I know I kind of ramble on with these artifact, tips and stuff, but there's just so much that goes into it, so it's easy to kind of bounce around. I'll try to do better with structuring some more informative kind of details without the rambling. But one thing that is really helpful is obviously I can't tell if this is going to be a good piece or if this is going to be a good piece or if this is going to be a good piece until I have them rolled up, right? Some pieces are worth rolling and some pieces aren't. So just as an example, we'll look at these weapons. I haven't looked at them yet, so I'll just give you my thoughts based on these weapons that have speed, okay? And if I think that they're worth rolling up, so that way whenever I'm building champions, I'll know if they have the substats that are needed. And it could be valuable to do that during artifact enhancement events, obviously, but you can take items up to 4 and sometimes even 8 without feeling too bad. Once you start taking stuff to 12 and 16, it's really good to have it in artifact enhancement. But we'll go ahead and look at these. So crit rate and crit damage. That's awesome. So we could go ahead and take this to 4, see if it rolls into crit rate. If it rolls into crit rate, then I would go ahead and roll it again to 8. But it rolled crit damage for right now. I'll just leave that. If this rolls into speed, then I would go ahead and roll it up to 8 to see if it rolls speed again. That way I can know if it's a super fast piece. HP and crit damage, not a bad piece, but for right now I'm not going to roll it. I'd like to see if this rolls into crit rate. I'll go ahead and take it up to 4. And look, we've got 3,029,000 silver. Look at how much it takes to roll it to 4. It's going to be so low. It was like 14,000, right? Rolled into crit rate, so that's awesome. Let's go ahead and take it up to 8. It'll probably take, 25,000 or maybe a little bit more, just depends, to take this up to 8. So right around 50,000. But now we know that this is a double crit rate weapon. Attack percent and crit damage, that's pretty strong. So we can go ahead and roll that up to 8. Double crit damage. Speed, accuracy, HP. This is strong, right? We like to see items that have speed and HP, accuracy in our speed set. Those are certainly valuable. Accuracy is always good. Speed for sure. We'll roll this once to see if it rolls into speed. Now, it's not to say that I'm going to just, throw these pieces away because they didn't roll into this. It's just I like to know what are my strongest pieces on my account, right? So like this piece is fantastic, accuracy and speed. We take this up to 8. If it rolled double into either of these, or even single into both of these, we're really happy. These are both really good stats. Awesome. Damage and defense, accuracy is always good. So that was kind of just what I was saying. I wanted to show y'all, like, it is valuable to roll your stuff up to 4 and to 8, just so you know what you're working with. It's kind of hard to gear champions without knowing what you have available on your account. So we're going to go ahead and gear Jingle Hunter. He's obviously not leveled. My High Elves faction is pretty strong currently just because I can kind of carry the weight with Elhain. But Jingle Hunter actually has some strong debuffing. So I would imagine he's ranked decent for Faction Wars. Yep, for sure. So we're going to go ahead and gear him, and then we'll use him in the next High Elf. So let's check out his kit first. He's got an A1 that attacks twice. And whenever he crits, he has a 40% chance of placing decreased speed. That's awesome. That's a good debuff. Attacks one enemy, and then has a 90% chance of placing a freeze on all enemies if it kills someone, right? So that's strong for Faction Wars because there's multiple enemies in the wave. Chances are decent he could probably kill someone and then do a full AoE freeze on everyone. So, okay. So right off the rip, we know that needs accuracy. We know that needs accuracy. Let's see what his A3 is. Attack all enemies and decrease turn meter if the attack is critical. Again, that needs accuracy, right? So let's see what this is. If he's ascended, attacks all enemies, decreases turn meter. So that's definitely the accuracy part. Fills turn meter by 10%. So whenever we're buffing or whenever we're filling our turn meter, we don't need accuracy. But we definitely need it for the turn meter reduction. We need it for anything that we're doing against the enemy team. So that is important to be mindful of, and so we're going to build him with accuracy in mind. And it also noted if critical, right? If it kills someone. So again, I think if critical. Yep, if critical. So we definitely are going to have to build him with what? Crit rate gloves. So no doubt about it, we are going to build this champion with crit rate gloves. Okay. And we said that we know accuracy is important, so if we can get it from like the perception set, or if we can get it from the accuracy set, that's going to be valuable. So let's see. Crit rate, attack percent, defense, so that's not really valuable for us. Attack percent. And we can go ahead and check to make sure, because it would suck if we started gearing this champion and then we go in and look and it's like, oh, damage based on defense, damage based on defense. That would suck. So we do like to make sure it's based on attack, based on attack, based on attack, right? So we're going to go ahead and find us some crit rate gloves that have some attack percent or some accuracy. Attack, defense percent. Ooh, attack percent. Okay, let's just level these up to 4 and see if they roll into that attack percent. Okay, they didn't, so let's see if these roll into attack percent. Now again, because this is going to be a faction war champion, it's not like we're looking for this to be the most, optimal, fantastic build in the world. It's just something that we're going to be trying to get, we're going to try to get as much crit rate as we can, and we're going to try to get the other stats. He's just going to be there to support Elhain, right? So one thing we can keep in mind is once we do take these to 16, it's going to be a 40% crit rate. So that means if we take it to 80% here, once we are in an artifact enhancement event, we can actually get the additional crit rate. Now, like I said, it would, in a typical situation, you would want to do this during artifact enhancement, so that way you could be double dipping and getting the value of the points there. But because I'm just kind of doing a showcase, I'll show you guys how to kind of do this. So I would take this up to 12, and then go ahead and do fitting room and try on. That way, if you end up making some mistakes, you don't have to pay the cost to remove stuff. Okay, so we've got some crit rate gloves on. Now we're going to go ahead and look at our boots, and we're going to try to find some speed boots that could be from the accuracy set or the perception set. And we would like to see accuracy or crit rate. Again, got accuracy there. That's good. Accuracy, these are kind of more tanky stats, but let's see. Defense there. And so nothing really exciting for this piece. At least we have accuracy here. So we'll go ahead and upgrade these to 12. Now again, if you were doing this without artifact enhancement being on, you'd probably just leave them at 8 and then you'd do it during the next artifact enhancement. So we've got that. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and take a look at chest piece. Now he does that ability where whenever he kills someone, he freezes everyone. So it would be ideal to equip him with some attack percent chest, so that way he could actually do some damage and then potentially proc that freeze all enemies. So let's see what we have here. We do have some attack percent. Now we do need to have crit rate because we don't want to be in a situation where he's just not critting ever. So let's do this. Let's do let's do substack crit rate and see if we have anything. Let's see if this goes up to crit rate. Man, this account has some rough luck with rolling stats for sure. Let's see if we have any attack pieces. Doesn't look like we do. Oh. Stats. And crit rate. Now again, we're not really super excited to put attack flat on him, but if we could get some crit rate rolls, then we wouldn't feel as bad about it. Let's see. Let's just look at what kind of crit rate we could potentially get. My main concern is that if we don't have enough crit rate on him, then it's going to be difficult to make him do his job, right? So you just want to be mindful of those things whenever you're trying to build champions. You don't want to set them up to fail, right? So we've got the substack crit rate here. We can kind of just see what kind of crit rate we can get out of some of these pieces. There we go. That's pretty solid. Pretty solid for sure. Go ahead and take it to 12. Look at that. That is really solid. Once we get a better hybrid damage dealer that debuffs, like Ornn potentially could be there, or like a Kale would do well with that. So that also gives us the accuracy bonus from that, so that's good. Let's see. We do need to have perception, so I can go ahead and take shield off now. And we do need to find a perception piece. That's got one roll into crit rate already. Let's see if we can get another roll into crit rate. Attack percent. Ooh, okay. So let's try that on just to see for now. That puts us at 60% crit rate. If we could find a nice helm that has some good crit rate, that would be good too. 9%. Not the most exciting thing in the world. And so we've completed our 2 accuracy stat checks here, our 2 accuracy stat boosts. And so now if we could find a helm or chest that, even if it's offset, it could be helpful for us if it's got high crit rate. So let's see. This is 12% crit rate. And granted, I am aware it's defense percent, so I would like to check for helms first and then see what we can play around with as far as our chest goes. Let's see, fatal. Come on, give us crit rate, yeah. And so honestly, I'll probably be doing some farming and campaign for some of those crit rate pieces because, imagine if I had crit rate gloves from the crit rate set, I could start to really make some of my gearing a little bit easier. So try that on for now. And let's see. So if we just only showed the chest pieces, this chest piece has accuracy, crit rate. This is a legendary. It's a 3-star, so we know we're not huge fans of it right off the rip. I'd like to see crit rate. So the thing about this is it would give us the additional 9 crit rate because it is that set of fatal. And it also does some attack bonus as well because it's attack percent as well. So that would put us right around 80% crit rate. And then once we do the gloves to 16, he would be at 100% crit rate. Let's just take those to 8. That's a pretty solid piece right there. Double crit rate, double speed. Definitely still good for sure. Percent crit rate there. With defense percent and accuracy and attack. Wow, that's a strong piece. And I don't like to put really good 6-star pieces on faction war champions, mostly because then it's a high silver cost whenever you go to snag them off to put them on a better champion. So I am sometimes mindful of that. Like I don't want to have that super high cost associated with it. This is a pretty bad piece that I wouldn't mind putting on a faction war champion actually. Like if it's got flat stat up there, I mean, it doesn't roll what we want it to. Why doesn't? I mean, and that just goes to show you like the importance of getting a lot of gear because you're just gonna have to roll a lot of pieces. Sometimes they roll the way you want them to, and sometimes they do not. Let's see. It's kind of the fun of it though. Like if you got everything you wanted right off the bat, you wouldn't have to go through the process of finding new gear sets, and it wouldn't feel as good whenever you do get the rolls that you want, for sure. Okay, so that's 10. I think what we're going to do for right now is just use this piece right here. Just going to go ahead and equip this. We're going to go ahead and equip this. And yeah, so that puts us at 80% crit rate puts us at, some pretty low attack. And again, he's level 1, so I'll level him up eventually a little bit more. But yeah, I think that, for right now, he's going to be able to do a little bit of work. He's not going to go in there and change my whole account. But that's how I would gear kind of a hybrid debuffer, damage dealer. You're still considerate of crit rate. You're still considerate of attack percent or whatever their main damage dealing stat is, and then you're also really mindful of having enough accuracy to do the job. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here. It's always a pleasure hanging out with you guys. Always a pleasure talking to you. And if you have any questions, make sure you ask them in the comment section. I do my best. I look at every single comment that comes in, and I try to respond to comments that are actually asking questions. But yeah, guys, I appreciate all of you. I hope you have a wonderful night, and I look forward to the next video. Catch y'all tomorrow.